Today we're going to ask Prime Creator about the post-eclipse energies. For myself, I have experienced a profound difference since the eclipse, and I'm really curious if other people are experiencing it. I'm curious what Prime Creator has to say about it. I'll just share briefly that since the eclipse, I feel like we reset a timeline, or we set a new timeline, or we jumped into a new timeline, however you want to say it. And for me personally, there's just a massive amount of heaviness that has been lifted. So I don't know if I completed part of my soul mission. And if I did, if other people are in that same boat, those of us who have been working on the front lines energetically and things. So I just want to see if Prime Creator has anything that wants to be shared around the eclipse and where we are now and what's happened with the eclipse. Obviously, last week, the Creation Temple group and many other groups were really working hard to make sure that the light was coming through the eclipse portal. And I feel like we've really accomplished a lot with that. I know all across the world, people were meditating and praying and intending. So I feel like we did something, and I'm curious what we did. So we're going to ask Prime Creator about that before we do the May forecast. We'll ask about the eclipse first. Yes, dear ones, much has been accomplished through the eclipse, and this is a culmination of the work that you have been doing. So it is not necessarily only the eclipse that caused this change, but this was a massive tipping point for humanity. So first I will explain that a new toroidal field has been set around planet Earth. And what this means is that there is a renewal, a fresh energy, a massive push for the emerging of the new Earth. So again, the process of the new Earth emerging is occurring over time in your experience as humans. And from this understanding, I will say that there has been a massive new emergence of more new Earth frequency, more new Earth energy. And so this new toroidal field is simply matching the frequency of what is emerging. It is a support for the emerging of the new Earth, as well as a natural byproduct of a new up-leveling, I will say. This also translates to many humans experiencing a personal rebirth and a new toroidal field, because there are new frequencies that are now coming to the planet through the eclipse portal that was opened. And so many of you will experience a refreshing of your energy. Many of you will have more energy freed up. Part of this is because of the new frequencies coming to the planet and how you are integrating them. And for some of you, as this channel was mentioning, portions of your soul mission have been completed, because many of you came here to this planet to usher in the new Earth, to keep at bay the shadow forces that were attempting to sabotage the emerging of the new Earth. And we are now in a place where no more sabotage can occur. And so for many of you, you are experiencing a new lightness of being. Yes, there will still be fallout, so to speak, from the work of the shadow forces, as you are seeing in wars in the Middle East and perhaps some earth changes and earth disruptions, earthquakes, tornadoes, natural disasters, so to speak. These types of things may still occur. But there is a new set point for the frequency of planet Earth. And there is an assurance now that there will be no more deviations from the divine path for the emergence of the new Earth, for human ascension, for planetary ascension. In fact, what some of you are feeling is part of your ascension. You are rapidly increasing in frequency and experiencing new synchronicities, experiencing faster manifestations. Some of you are finding your bodies healing faster or even spontaneously healing. Many of you are experiencing new levels of joy and peace and surrender and being at ease with life. And so if you are experiencing all of these things or some of these things that I have been mentioning, you were part of that first line of doing the spiritual warfare and working with planetary ascension. And this part of your soul mission is complete, and you are now freed up to do other things that you enjoy as part of your soul mission. For those of you still feeling heaviness, for those of you still feeling fatigue or struggling with body issues, you are still working with your soul mission in the energetic space, in the etheric space. Remember that there are waves of souls who are working with different things at different times in different ways. So you also will come to a point where you will experience more relief. But for now, dear ones, I invite you and encourage you to keep on keeping on, to stay diligent and disciplined, and to continue working with the mission that your soul took on, even if you do not understand it, to have faith and trust that you are doing what you came here to do, even if it is not in a conscious way. You are achieving much during your sleep times, during your nap times, during your meditations, during your time in nature. You are still achieving much. And some of you, yes, even in waking hours when you are doing other things, you are working in many dimensions, on many levels, in many realms. And so if you are feeling fatigue that you are not used to experiencing, you are truly working in other ways that you are not aware of. And so again, I ask you to, if you are willing, to keep on keeping on, because you are achieving much in ways that perhaps you do not even understand at this time. In terms of the eclipse portal, yes, much was achieved in resetting the timeline, in bringing in the light, and keeping the shadow in check. And what I mean by this is the shadow was hoping to use this portal for nefarious purposes, to control humanity, But because of the choice of the souls of humans, there was a collective decision to increase in frequency, to work with the light more and more, and to not give the shadow power. And so, indeed, the timeline for humanity has been reset. And what this means is that you did jump to a higher frequency timeline. And so you will see more and more disclosure in this year. You will see perhaps even changes in the way the elections in the US are done. This is still being worked out. But there is the potential of not being an actual election this year. You will see and experience more healing, rapid growth for those who choose to grow and expand. And you can expect miracles. And when I say miracles, this is up to you, what you choose, what you desire to create. If you have had a desire to create something and it has seemed impossible, I encourage you to stay miracle-minded and to receive that which your soul desires. And not allow the perception of lack or not enoughness of some sort, whether it is within you or financial or some other type of lack, to not allow this to have any power in the way that you maneuver as you create from your soul desires. So to recap with the Eclipse portal, this was of massive benefit to humanity. Some will not even notice a difference at this time, and some will notice a significant difference, as this channel has noticed. It simply depends on where each being is in their journey, what they have contributed at the soul level and at the human level, how they are wired, and what they are focused on. All these factors make a difference.
Prime Creator, can you talk a little bit more about the best ways to manifest our soul desires? Do we just picture it and move toward what it is we desire at the soul level as if it's happening, and then it will manifest?
This is a very significant and large question, and I will refer you to a work that this channel has completed several years ago called The Codes of Creation. You can find these videos on her YouTube, because it is not just about thinking, it is not just about feeling what you want. There is inspired action, there is aligning yourself to what you are receiving, vibrating with the frequency of that which you wish to receive. There are many layers and levels to creating from your soul desire. What I will say to you now is to focus on, bring your energy, bring your focus to what you are desiring, and work on matching your personal frequency to the frequency of what you desire. So again, that involves feeling, visualization, taking inspired action, receiving. There are many components to the creation process. I think you do one.
That energy increase or that change with the timeline, did that happen right away at the solar eclipse, or
it
maybe
happened within 24 hours? So the 12 hours before and the 12 hours after, there was a 24-hour window in which all of this shifted.
So I've been seeing many people have noted that the energies are coming in higher, with lots more light and higher vibration. Is that related to the eclipse? Is that like an after effect of the eclipse, or is that a separate thing?
Yes, dear one. It is related and also separate as well, as this has been happening over the past several years where the frequency continues to increase and increase. And with the eclipse specifically, there was a market increase in the frequency. There was enough of an increase to enable humanity to quantum leap to this new timeline. And so, yes and no, it is related and also not related at the same time.
Can you also talk more about the jumping of the timeline?
What is your question about this, dear one?
I just sort of am curious to understand more about how it actually worked.
With any collective quantum leap to a new timeline, there is an agreement at the soul level of enough humans to create a tipping point to be able to jump to a new timeline. So it starts with this soul level agreement, and then there is an orchestration, I will say, of all of the streams of energy coming to this planet to be able to support the decision that humanity has made. And these light streams and energy streams are also, of course, working with planet Earth, as she has a say in this as well. But it is more the decision of the human souls, because planet Earth is always ready to increase in frequency. She is simply supporting the humans and waiting for them in their timing to be able to up level. And so she is in agreement with any upgrade or up leveling. There is not a simple explanation for how this works. It has to do with concepts that this channel does not understand, working in physics and metaphysics and quantum, how the quantum works. But the important piece is the agreement that each human soul made to jump the timeline, and then the support, the orchestration of the light streams and energy streams to work with humans to enable them to make this jump. There is a spark of life within each human that corresponds and correlates to energy that comes from within your galaxy, your solar system, your universe, your multiverse. And so when this spark of light is ready to expand, there is a signal, a knowing. This information is sent to all of the light streams within the universe and beyond. But I will just say the universe for simplicity's sake. The signal goes out. It is like a telepathic pulse that goes out from each human. And when enough souls are sending out this pulse, that the spark of light within them is ready to expand and grow, then there is a response from the light streams, from the higher frequencies. They organize to support the expansion of humanity. And so this is how it works in the collective. And this is also part of the creation process. When there is a resonant frequency of that life spark with the thing or circumstance or experience that the human is ready to create and manifest, that signal goes out and is reciprocated. And that signal can be strengthened, yes, by intention, by generating positive feelings, by envisioning, and things of this nature to support the creation of what the human is creating and manifesting. The energies of May will be different for different people. Overall, May is about expansion, growth, expansion, and more growth in a beautiful, enjoyable way for many. For those who are still holding on to their old lives, to possessions that no longer serve, to wounds and experiences that they've had, traumas that they've had, for those who are still holding on, the growth will not be as enjoyable. But you can make the choice to let go of these things and to experience more joy in your journey of expansion. May will also contain a series of unfoldments of old energy. So whether it is individual, at the global level, or at a local level to you, old wiring will be unfolding, old patterns will be unfolding, old ways of thinking, old ways of being. Since the eclipse now, much is unwinding. For those of you who have already done much of this work, you may not experience much of this. But for those of you who are more new in this process of rewiring, you can expect many things to unfold within your body and being, and again, within your local experience or perhaps the global platform. I will try to explain this in another way. Because of the eclipse and how much light came through, there is a blast of light that ran through the nervous system of each being. And this causes a reset and, in some cases, a purge of old energy. And so you may find yourself feeling a bit ungrounded, questioning what you are feeling, not understanding what is happening in your body and being, because so much is unwinding so quickly. But you can rest assured, dear ones, that this unwinding is a very important part of your growth and ascension. This unwinding is very important in order to reach new levels, new understandings, new expansions in your personal world. And so I invite you, dear ones, to do your best to simply allow. It will be helpful if you can be in bodies of water during this time, as the water will support the unwinding. If you can get body work done that supports unwinding, this is also a good option. I invite you to be gentle with yourselves if you are going through this unwinding. And for those of you who have done a majority of this work and this part of the experience no longer affects you as much, I invite you to work on your strength, and whether it is physical, emotional, spiritual, all levels of strength, because you will be moving into being a builder for the new earth. And so you will need physical strength, you will need mental and emotional fortitude. Yes, much of the process will be enjoyable, and you will also be working with people and confronting people who are in a very different vibrational frequency than you are. They will be going through their unwinding, and perhaps many traumas will be releasing from their bodies. And so you will need fortitude in dealing with them and working either alongside them or in some capacity with them to complete your physical projects. And so I invite you to work on your strength in order to be able to stay focused and not swayed by the emotions of others or the energetics that others may project onto you. Overall, May is an exciting month with much expansion, much growth. And again, I invite you to allow this growth, allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to unwind, allow yourself to rebirth and recreate yourself. There is a new level of freedom in terms of what has held you back before. There is now much greater support on many levels for you to move forward. And so it will be important to remind yourself of this and not get stuck in old patterns of there is not enough, there has not been enough, I have worked so hard and there is not enough, or whatever patterns you have that have held you back in the past. These patterns do not need to continue. In fact, if you hold on to them, it will be extremely uncomfortable. So I invite you to let them go and allow new patterns to be formed around you as individuals being empowered to move forward, having the resources you need to move forward.
Well, Prime Creator, some people have said that very volatile things are coming. Was that on the old timeline?
Yes, that was an old timeline prediction. Now, again, as I have mentioned, there may still be earth changes, and this unwinding that's happening at the global level will appear as volatile events occurring. And yes, they are, but it is not in the understanding of this being a set point or a foundation moving forward. This is old energy working itself out, and it will not last. So that is the distinction. In other words, when it comes to war in particular, war tends to lead to more war and more wars, and decades later, still more wars based on things that happened in previous decades. And what you are seeing now is old energy working itself out, and it will not continue and be perpetuated into the future.
I had a dream that might be even have a connection with that heart there. There was a meeting in a room. Someone asked me if I want a cleansing. I said yes. I got a white cup with a white liquid and some of a leaf in it. I drank it and I was chewing the leaf. What was that about?
Can you say more about the being who offered you this drink?
Mm, I didn't wrote anything down. I don't remember anything about. It was at 28th Thursday mornings or at night. It's only that 1, 2, 3 lines what I wrote down here.
Dear one, you have great support in other realms to assist you in moving through your personal ascension process, your expansion. And so you were given some support to help you release the old and to move into higher frequency. And that is what is represented by the white liquid, the pure white light that you can take into your body to cleanse your body, your being, and allow you to expand and move forward on your journey. This is beautiful, dear one.
Yeah, a couple times at night here I was thinking like Scotty beam me up to the spaceship, put me in a med bed and heal me. So maybe that was one effect from it. Thank you.
I will say, not just to you, dear one, but for all, your intentions are very powerful. And so when you have desires to heal, desires to grow, desire for support, you can send this intention out and receive the support that you need. We will end this channeling with a reminder of how powerful you are, of the beauty that each one of you brings to this life. I wish also to express my gratitude for each soul that has come to this planet to assist in this grand transition. The Christ energies are here. The Christ codes, Christ consciousness, Yeshua, Jesus, again, whatever word you prefer to use. He is here now on this planet, assisting humanity. And I am speaking in an etheric sense, not a physical sense. Jesus is here holding each of you who wishes to commune with him, assisting you to move forward in your missions, assisting you to be resourced for your missions. And so the power that you have within you, you can amplify when you work with the Christ codes. Part of what the Christian religion talks about with inviting Jesus into your heart is the magic, the alchemy of joining heart frequency, creating coherence with the Christ for your creations of light upon this planet. This is something that the Christian religion does not necessarily understand or speak about, but this is part of the truth of who Christ is and the alchemist that he is, and the alchemy he can bring to your life when you join forces from the heart space. So I invite you to take a deep breath I will leave you with this thought, dear ones, and invite you to meditate and pray on what I have just spoken and shared. I thank you, dear ones. How beautiful. And along with Prime Creator, I also want to thank you and express my gratitude for those of you who have been doing this work, doing your inner work, doing the spiritual battles, all of the things we've done in the past decades to bring to fruition what will be unfolding now on the planet. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. So grateful. And I'm excited to see what happens next and what we can create together from here. So much love, you guys. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you in the next one.